My friend, welcome to the world's best kept secret podcast, a podcast that brings you exclusive interviews from experts all over the world with life-changing work that you didn't even know existed. I'm your host, Prima Jope, a partner for those that are ready to take their life-changing work in front of those whose life or business depends on it. Please follow or subscribe for more. Welcome back. Today we have Megan Murphy, and Megan entertains kids, educates kids, is a mother figure for kids who are looking for more mentorship, for brain growth, and everything that you wish your child got from entertainment. And so the problem really that we have today is that kids are watching, I don't know who they are watching, but they're watching solely for entertainment. They're watching cartoons and they're watching whatever the thing they are watching really. But what if we could educate them? What if we could empower them? What if we could offer them some skills and still entertain them at the same time? Would that be worth it for you? So if you're that cautious parent that wants brain development for your child the same way they want to be entertained, it kind of gives you a double-edged sword where you can entertain them, but also in entertaining them, they get to grow. And so I like Megan because that's her heart, like the mother figure, but who is also very keen on mentoring kids through entertainment. And so I really love this speaker because she is the person I wish I know when my kids come, because I don't want my kids hooked on I don't know who to just entertain them and excite them. I want my kids growing in that. I want my kids becoming better people. I want my kids picking up some skills while being entertained. It's more like watching Netflix versus watching a show like Shark Tank. I don't know. Both is entertainment, but one of them is probably going to teach some stuff. And so you can look at it like that for adults. You can either watch Netflix or you can be someone who gets really excited about podcasts like I do. And so if I had to produce something on Netflix, it would be something business-like, but which is like really very good for people who love business. And so this is kind of Megan's path. And I'm excited for an interview because I think that you will love it, especially if you are looking for ways to entertain your children while empowering them as well. I won't say much. She has a YouTube channel. She'll tell us all about that. But I don't want to say much more because that would be preempting her work. So let's bring her on. Let's go through her system. Let's understand what she does, why she does it, how she does it, and how you can tap into her work. Megan, welcome to the show. I am thrilled that you're here.
Hi, thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Is it 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. for you right now?
It's 7 a.m.
Wow.
But that's all right.
Let's start from what is wrong with the way kids are being entertained today?
Well, a lot of the entertainment today, like on Cartoon Network and a lot of those kids channels, is just mindless, empty entertainment with no substance. Like it's just pure. It's like the difference. Okay. A lot of the shows right now are like junk food, but I'm trying to create something with the Aunt Nanny Show that is healthy entertainment for kids to watch, like health food for their minds. I'm trying to create something that is wholesome and meaningful and that has substance and something that's educational as well as entertaining. Um, I'm trying to create something that parents will feel good about their kids watching, that kids will ask their parents, "Can I watch this?" And the parents will be like, "Yes, absolutely. I want you to watch entertainment like this. This is good entertainment and good, an educational show."
So organic food for your child's mind. I love how you said that. We're going to take kids from the junk entertainment or junk mindful to something that is a little bit more organic, but still nice and tasty for the kids. I really love where you're going with that. Let me know, like, what is the age of the child that we are trying to talk to here, or what is the age
Mhm.
bracket of the kids that you're creating for? Because I think at some age, kids decide what they watch, and their parents probably
Mhm.
don't decide for them. So if we were speaking to parents right now, like, what's the age of the child that you're creating for?
I'm like 5 years old to 8 years old.
5 to 8. Okay. Where mommy still says no, watch
I take
that.
that back. It's 8 years old and younger, all the way
Eight and
from birth
younger.
to 8 years old.
Oh, okay. But practically all those ages, it's still in the parents' hands to decide what they watch, right? Or
Yes.
am I mistaken? Because I'm not a mother, so I don't know.
Or whoever's
Mm.
in charge of the kids.
Okay, cool. So before we get ahead of ourselves, how did you get into kids' work? What prompted you to start this? Tell us a little bit about your
Mm.
story, Megan. That would be, I think, helpful for the listener.
Well, I do have experience working with kids in the past. I used
Mm,
to be a summer camp counselor for many years, working with kids ages 6 to 18. So I
mm,
worked with little kids and teenagers. And I had a lot of little cousins and nieces. One nephew growing up
mm,
that I helped take care of and babysat when they were babies and little kids.
mm,
And what in the way that the Aunt Nanny Show got started was with my nephew, who calls me Aunt Nene, because when he was a baby, he couldn't say Megan. And so he was like, Aunt Nene. And he still calls me that to this day, even though he's 7 years old now. But he's
Wow.
my only niece or nephew. So he's like,
Mm.
and I don't have any kids of my own yet. So he's like my only child right now. But anyway, I decided to make I know all these silly songs from Girl Scout camp,
Mm,
and I decided to make a video, sing one of those songs and make a video of it and put it on YouTube and see what happens.
mm,
And it did modestly well at first. It got a modest amount of views. And then I thought, well, this is fun. I was just doing it for fun at first. So I said, I'll keep making more videos. So I made a few more and I kept on doing it. And then the 20th video that I made got
mm,
over 54,000 views on YouTube all of a sudden. So then I thought, okay, I've got to step up my game here. And I hired two producers. So I'm working with two different people who are producers now, and they're going to help make season 2 and 3 even bigger and better than season 1. We're going to be bringing on special guest stars, just like you're interviewing me on your show right now. I'm going to interview other people on my show. And we had one lady who is a financial advisor. Hear me out. She's going to help teach the kids basic facts about money management and basic facts about money. Like, well, you have different money in Uganda,
mm.
but they're going to be like, this coin is worth 25 cents and you need four of these to make $1. Things like that. I don't know what the money in Uganda is, but you get what I'm saying though, right?
A dollar is still a dollar, but what
Like
excites
how
me, we have a
like they're
shilling. We have shillings, but what excites
oh,
me about
okay.
what you're saying right now is I had a guest, a friend of mine, Julia Myers, on the show. She speaks about generational wisdom. She says we've been to places where we asked kids what money was, and they said it was the plastic thing,
Mm.
like the Visa card or MasterCard. And
Oh.
so it was like kids really said it was the plastic thing that mommy uses to pay for things. That was money.
Mhm.
So when you say teaching kids about money, then that comes to mind, and it's totally, I can see how that can be helpful. Otherwise, I think it's the plastic thing.
Yeah. And we're going to have another guest on who is a circus performer and
Mm,
trapeze artist and an acrobat. And I'm going to be interviewing him about what it's like to work in the circus. And he
mm,
also used to work with elephants in the circus. Although they don't have elephants in the circus anymore because of cruel treatment of animals. They don't have animals in the circus anymore. But he used to work in the circus like 30 years ago with elephants. And so he's going to teach some basic facts about elephants. And basically, the point is that it's going to be even bigger and better. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds with the Aunt Nanny Show.
I really like it. Aunt Nanny Show.
Yeah.
I love really the work you're doing there. I love a place for kids to be entertained while their brain development is the priority. What do you
Mm-hmm.
hope that this show does for kids long term? What is your thought? What is your reason behind this? Or what is your mission or vision of this show years and years to come? What has to be achieved for you to feel like this was worth it or worth doing for you?
Okay. My mission is to inspire children to find their gifts and their talents and
Mm,
to, like, for example, I did an episode where I played the piano, and that might inspire some kid to say, "Hey, mom, I want to take piano lessons and I want to play the piano." And
mm,
then they might grow up to become a concert pianist. Or somebody might see the episode about the circus performer guy and say, "Hey, I want to learn trapeze and I want to work in the circus."
mm. So
And
you're hoping the children will discover their gifts through the show?
yeah, and just inspire kids to be better humans and better members of society and inspire them to be kind and to educate them.
Mm,
What was I fixing to say? I don't know. I forgot.
mm. That's fine.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I
but
see.
I want to make kids happy.
Wanna make, I can see that. Like, this can be like, okay, you can either take your child to daycare or you can leave them entertained and happy, but really growing. I can really see how this could be easier for parents to do as opposed to all the other things that they can leave their kids with. So let's go to the departments, the buckets, the process. Take me to a place where I can understand how you're thinking when it comes to the child and what they need, or the departments or compartments of why they need development and how you're thinking about that on the show. Take me there. Like, how are you categorizing your work and how are you thinking through
Oh,
these for the child?
well, it's a variety show. I try to expose them to a variety of things to give them a well-rounded experience and a well-rounded education with the show. I
Mm,
sing songs, I tell stories, I do jokes. Um, and of course, there's educational content. Sometimes I go like exploring different places. Like we had an episode that was Aunt Nene goes to New York City, and we had one that was Aunt Nene goes to the beach. And last week, I went to this event called the Arrowhead and Fossils Show, which was about Native American arrowheads and artifacts and fossils. And they had all kinds of samples of arrowheads and fossils and things there. It was really cool. Anyway, I took some video footage and I'm gonna make a video episode about that, about like arrowheads and Native American history and things like that. But basically, what was the question again?
The question was the department or how we are looking through. So you said you have different things for them: songs, stories, jokes, education, exploration.
Yeah.
But where
I
my
want to give
mind
them.
is, mm,
Go ahead, sorry.
no, I was trying to say like where my mind is going is how do you think about the child's development and how do you think about empowering them through what you do? What, like, how can we
Mhm.
begin to, in a structure, see how you're doing what you're doing by maybe really categorizing it as this and this is why. So, for example, songs. And why are we telling
Mhm.
songs? Stories, and why are we telling the
Okay.
children stories?
Okay.
Jokes, and what are we hoping to achieve with jokes? Education, and what's the goal of the
Mhm.
education? Exploration, and what is the goal of. So, for everything you do on the
Okay.
show,
Okay.
we want to know the reason behind it, if it makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
So for the songs, it's of course I want to expose the kids to music
Mm,
and give them a little bit of a arts education with music.
mm,
And there might be some kids out there who my songs might inspire them to become singers because they might have the talent of singing themselves. And for the stories,
mm,
it's to uh for the stories, I might inspire them to write their own stories because all the stories that I read on the show, I wrote myself.
mm,
Like I did one a couple weeks ago that was a book I wrote when I was in the second grade, when I was like 8 years old, called The Cat and the Turtle. It's just a little book
mm.
I wrote in school and when I was 8 years old, but I found it in my drawer in my room, and so I decided to read it on the show. But I want to inspire kids to become authors and storytellers themselves because, storytelling is a lost art form in a lot of cultures. And I want to, you know, instead of looking at their phones all day or looking at the computer, I want them to read books and I want to inspire them to read more.
Mm.
And
Uh,
for the jokes, it's
mm,
just honestly pure entertainment, but it might inspire a kid to become a comedian and to tell their own jokes. Like my
mm,
nephew, for example, he's really funny. He's a really funny kid and he loves jokes and he loves to make people laugh. He's always trying to make me laugh and doing funny things. So I think he's got a talent. He could be a comedian when he grows up. And I'm sure there's other kids like that too that it could inspire. And for the educational content, of course, I want to provide healthy food for kids' minds. And I want them
mm.
to develop a love for learning and to see that learning can be fun and entertaining as well as educational.
So,
And
so
for the
what are you teaching about when you say educational content? What are they learning about? Is that the same stuff from school or is it a different type of learning?
um some of it is the same stuff as school, some of it is different. Like I
Mm,
did a piano lesson episode where I taught a basic lesson about how to play the piano.
mm,
And um I did one episode where I went to the lake here in my hometown, and there were some ducks there. And I got out my camera and I started filming these ducks. And
mm,
I said like basic facts that I know about ducks, like they can swim, walk, and fly, and they eat fish. And don't feed them bread, feed them birdseed or something.
Hmm. Okay, so
But
it's
I
so
did
it's
like
a
a documentary style
hmm,
documentary about the ducks.
hmm,
There was one about a rabbit that I talked about the rabbit. But anyway, we're gonna have more educational content in the future, more
hmm,
than we have in the past as well. I'm gonna do a cooking episode where I teach kids how to make eggs, how to make scrambled eggs. So that might inspire kids to start cooking themselves and getting in the kitchen and learning how to cook. And
hmm,
like I said, we did the one show that was educational about money and money management, like
hmm.
how to save your money and how to, like, if you save enough quarters, you might can buy a jetpack eventually.
That's really cool.
But
That's okay.
yeah,
It's really cool. I can see how
there
that
will
is
be more
helpful.
educational content in the future.
Mm. Okay. What is the thing that is so exciting about your show that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about? The most exciting thing,
Um,
or the thing you feel is so key for the mother who is watching and going, oh, this could be the show for my children. What is it that we've left behind that you really love to talk about?
um, People should watch the show, and it is genuine because I really genuinely want to make kids happy and I want to inspire kids. Like, I'm not doing this show for my own selfish reasons. Like, it's not because I want to be rich or famous or anything like that. It's because
Mm,
I genuinely love what I do and I love kids and I love working with kids. And when I decided that I was going to have my own show, I knew that it had to be a kids show because there's like two things that I'm good at in life is taking
mm,
care of children and acting. So I knew that it had to be a kids show because I don't know, kids seem to be drawn to me. Kids seem to like me for some
mm.
reason. Maybe it's just my face, I don't know. But I thought if I was going to do a show, I had to do something for the kids. And I
Mm,
honestly started doing it just for my nephew. Like, I
mm.
thought if nobody else ever watches my show, I'll keep doing it just for him, even if he's the only one who ever watches it. So
Wow.
it was born out of love.
Mm,
And that's why the parents should be comfortable with their kids watching it because I genuinely love what I do and it's genuine and real.
mm. Wow. This is an example of another person who's doing their soul work and who is just answering the calling on their heart to say, you're made for more, you can make kids happy, so go for it. So,
Mhm.
Megan, we really want to honor you and celebrate you for saying yes to that calling, but more importantly, for the work that had to be done before this moment. We can't take that for granted as well, because surrender can be hard, and this can be a path that no one has traveled, and it can be hard and difficult. Yet you've really gone through and just kept moving for the calling that is on your heart. So, at the World's Best Kept Secret, we really want to celebrate people who are doing their soul work and who have answered the calling on their heart. And yeah, so thank you for that.
Thank you
And
for saying that.
yeah, and for you
Yeah.
who's listening, this is a moment where I say that this is a triangle. My work is to translate the soul, translate the work on Megan's heart. Megan's work is to answer the calling on her heart to make kids happy. And your work as a listener is to be the vessel for this message. And so the question that we can ask ourselves now is, what parent do we know that is tired of feeding junk to their children? Who do you know that is tired of children watching the thing that they don't want them to watch? Which parent do you know that is just tired of what their kids are watching and would love something that grows the child? I think that this is the future of entertainment for kids. And if you know anyone that could benefit from Megan's work, if you know anyone for whom Megan's channel would be a blessing to their family, it is now upon you to press that share button and drop it in their inbox and go, you will love this. This is how we get our kids off whatever the Netflix or Cartoon Network they're on. That is just getting them addicted to adrenaline or something. Yet it's
Mhm.
also entertaining and educating
Exactly.
and empowering, and it is just everything that a kid needs in their brain of how they consume information. And so let's take a moment, honor the work that Megan does, and take a minute to share it, because that is the biggest thing that you can contribute to this podcast as a listener. And as always, please remember to pull up your app, follow, subscribe, rate, review, and all of the things, because that is how other parents like you find the channel. Megan, we're getting to the end, and we would love to get your last words of wisdom.
Um, I'll say the thing that I always say at the end of each Aunt Nene episode.
Mm.
I say, remember, kids, you are kind, you are smart, you are important. That's a quote from the movie The Help, starring Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer. Anyway, just the name of my YouTube channel where you can find the Aunt Nene Show is my name, Megan Claire Murphy, and the number 2. That's Megan Claire Murphy 2. And I'm also on Facebook under the name Megan Claire Murphy. You can message me there, inbox me there. We're also looking for guests to be on the Aunt Nene Show. So if you would be interested in being a guest, you can contact me on Facebook. And you should watch the Aunt Nene Show. And thank you for having me on this podcast today. It's been nice.
Mm. It's a pleasure. I was going to ask, you had some other thing you had for babies, and we had to put it in the show notes. But I do want you to talk about it. There'll be something that Megan will drop in the show notes for babies, but I want her to talk
You
about
mean
it.
this?
Yes. And can you tell us what that is and how to get it?
Um, these are some
Mm.
coloring pages that my friend made for me for the Aunt Nene Show. This one says Aunt Nene goes to New York, and that's supposed to be me right there. That's Aunt Nene. And that's supposed to be a little boy listening to a podcast. I colored that one. And that's supposed to be me for Aunt Nene Goes on an Airplane, which was one of the episodes of the Aunt Nene Show. And oops, that's another one. Aunt Nene sings apples and bananas. Doesn't that look like me? Anyway, these are free coloring pages. There's a Google Doc that I'm going to send Prima where you can download these coloring
Mm.
pages and print them out if you have a printer and color them for free, no cost to you. It's just something fun that I'm offering to you.
So what are they supposed to do with them? The kids are supposed to kind of try and color you up.
Color them with crayons or markers or paints or whatever they have.
Wow. It's been such an honor to have you on the show, Megan. I think that this will be good for mothers, especially, even dads who really take care of kids. But if I had a child, this would be what I share. So right now, I'm just thinking about my siblings, and my brother, and my sisters, and their
Mhm.
children, and I'm so sharing this with them because I want their children to land on this, as opposed to the Cartoon Network and the next cartoon and the next cartoon. Thank you, Megan, once again. And for you who's listening, thank you for making this triangle complete, because without you, this message would never move. Without Megan, the kids wouldn't be happy. And without Prima, Megan's message would be lost in the crowd. So I like to call this the divine triangle, where we all bring our gifts together, and you're the strongest leg of the triangle because you're the vessel. And so I like the union. I love the union, and I really celebrate you every day for standing with me as this work builds from one subscriber to, I don't know, to the millions. So thank you once again. Have a beautiful day, and keep doing what you do.
Words. Thank you.
That is it, my friend. To listen to more exclusive interviews like this one, simply go to the world's best kept secret podcast.com and select interviews based on preferred topic.